With a population figure of over 20 million people, Lagos State grapples with infrastructure challenge as well as shelter for its teeming inhabitants. Now, while the state government makes efforts to build new homes to plug the gaps, we'll take a look at some of the estates built about 40 years ago by the first executive governor of the state, Chief Lateef Jakonde. The Jakonde's administration in Lagos State in the early 80s is still regarded as one of the most transparent and effective governments of the state. He had his eyes on affordable housing and education for Lagosians, and is said to have constructed over 30,000 housing units within the space of 4 years, including Abesan, Amuodofin, Iponrin, Alaka estates. 40 years down the line, while population of Lagos has grown astronomically, dwarfing available infrastructure and accommodation, the state of some of the Jakonde's housing units leaves so much to be desired. For those who visit or reside at the Abesan estate in Ibaja, Lagos, the challenge begins with the volume of traffic at the junction. However, it's far saner within the estate, except that the infrastructure and the buildings have seen better days. The quality of work done here still shines through, despite the number of years since the buildings were constructed. What is also noticeable is the input from the residents who make attempts to keep Jakonde's legacy alive by maintaining and painting their blocks from time to time. A renewal is however needed at the moment. Around the Mile 2 area of Lagos State is another estate also known as the Amuodofin Housing Estate. The initiative was conceived as a solution to the perennial accommodation problem in the state back then. For those who grew up here, there has been a drastic change from how it used to be in the good old days.
I've been living in this estate since 1978. As a youth, I started living in this with my parents in this estate since 1978. And the truth of the matter is that most of this road you see, well, water, this and that, these are when we are young, we used to play ball and enjoy ourselves in those days.
Some of these buildings are falling apart. The environment is surrounded by stagnant water due to lack of a proper drainage system. The impact is better imagined and experienced according to some of the residents.
All those heavy rainfall of June, July, when they come, the whole estate will turn to a river. And as you can see, this water is not flowing. This water remains here January to December. That is our greatest problem in the estate. So if there is a way that they can help us with proper drainage by which water can flow, the estate will be a better place. Because before now, the estate used to be dry regularly. Yes, especially this place, the estate used to be dry. Now we have this flooding problem here, where this water stay all year round. And we also have it at the back, that place where we call basketball court. It is those two places that we have the greatest problem of flooding.
When they came to build this new road, the other one there, then this Jakonde, the other side there, everywhere came up, here become low. The whole flood from the whole area come to flood here. Usually we don't have any flood here. We need the government to come and inspect it and know how to channel the gutter that the water will be flowing to canal.
Another major concern to the people here is Block 42, which once housed 16 families and now has become a threat to the neighborhood. for over 3 years now, it's been abandoned, posing a great risk to the children who play around the vicinity, oblivious of the danger they're exposed to.
When the government came to come and do some demolition within the estate, we're on the process of destroying the the shelves and other things. Some of the pillars they use in amending the block, the trailer and the weight of the noise of the trailer weaken the block. And after 2 or 3 weeks interval, that was how the veranda of the first floor fell down. That particular moment, Lagos State government and other agents, they all rushed down to come and see in case of any victim casualty. And thank God there was no any victim. So the government asked the tenant and the landlord that were living in that particular block to live under 1 week. How can the government, you see a lot of people, family for 16 blocks, 16 flats in a block, you ask the government will just come and ask the tenant and the landlord and everybody should live, and you didn't even prepare a suitable place for them to move before asking them to move because of power. There was nothing the tenant and the landlord could be able to do. They have to abide to the rules.
And since then, we've not seen governments coming to come and do anything about it. They left it, they abandoned it, going to 3 years now, that the place has been in that kind of condition. And before you know, boys, woolies, they can make that place a kind of hideout. So for us not to have that at the moment, we are pleading to government if they can come and do something about that building itself.
Even the public water is no longer available, and yet the area is flooded with water affecting flats on the ground floor.
Like in my old block, this period alone, 2 people have moved from downstairs. As we are talking now, 2 flats in my block, they've moved just because they are tenants. But for those of us who are landlord, to move is a very difficult thing in Lagos when you notice it. But this year's own, my dear, it was pain. We were in tears for days. The drainage that will take this thing to canal, they've blocked everywhere. The water will not go 3 days, 4 days. If your car is inside the close, you can't move the car outside. If you're outside there, you cannot come inside. Even with leg, it will get to your waist. Most of us that are living downstairs, once it is raining, we will find where to go and put our children, find where to put our property.
While residents of Malto Estate hope for intervention, those in Iponrin appear to have taken their welfare into their hands. Their location may have played a good part in the state of the estate, but the inhabitants have also done quite well with maintenance of the blocks as well as the drainage system.
We find the place very beautiful and decent, better than the local landlords who have been living. We normally paint when necessary. We paint the outside. We have water here. The electricity is better now. It's improving. But water is very good. We have all our drainage are better off than what it used to be before.
However, there is still a little issue which they at the moment do not have control over: noise pollution.
Challenges recently is traffic because of I think the construction of the bridges. We have influx of vehicles, and sometimes they blare their horns and they don't even make us sleep.
Only recently, the state government alluded to understanding the situation of these old estates and that plans were ongoing to have them rehabilitated.
As we speak, we are working on all those estates. We are looking at them and doing due diligence on some of them to make sure that we bring them back to life. We are working on Alaka as we speak right now. There are some buildings there that are very defective. So we are looking at various options. The problem we are having and we want to solve in-house is trust in governance. because people are living there. We cannot just drive them off. So we are looking at possibility of, okay, building and moving them, we do it gradually. So, and whoever we can pay off for a month, a year or something for us to finish. We are working on it as we speak. And very soon, the government will unveil our final decision on those housing schemes.
As the state government works on possible ways to upgrade these projects, many hope the more modern Lagos homes currently being allocated will not suffer the same fate decades from now. Thank you for being the change you desire. Till next week, I'll keep my eyes on you. Bye-bye.